What's up guys, my name's Larry and welcome back to my channel where we like to talk about everything adventure riding. Now if you hear the birds chirping in the background, that's because the garage door is open today. It's about 58 degrees. I did a bit of riding on the 310 this morning, came home and said, okay, let's get this 850 video out. It's been long enough. So yep, here it is. There's the 850. Basically sold all my other ventures for this bike. We'll talk a little bit about the features, what drew me towards it, you know, why I made the decision. I still have the 310, still gonna do a lot of riding on the 310. We're gonna talk about the upgrades I did on this bike, where I bought it, how much it was, service fees, all that good stuff. So stick around, we're gonna get right into it. All right, so before we get into some of the upgrades and specifics about the bike, I just wanted to give a quick background on actually how this all occurred. So basically, you all know how I got the 310. It was my first actual motorcycle that ran correctly, and I took a big trip on it, did some BMW rides, and basically blew my mind, and now I'm hooked on motorcycles like the rest of us. So I owned a 2013 Subaru WRX that basically I dumped, you know, 25 grand into 30 grand, who knows at this point, and just made it an absolute track beast of a car. Everything on it was done by me except for like the tuning. That was my life for 8 years. I contemplated selling the car and then eventually did. I actually sold the car the day before I left on my trip and headed out on the 310, you know, kind of like, holy crap, you know, I just sold this car. And, you know, after the trip, came home, went straight to BMW, I think the next day after I came home. Basically, you know, started the transaction with Max BMW from New Milford. Those guys were great. I have nothing but good things to say about them. Head of sales, Zach there is amazing. And there was no issues. They were at my beck and call for everything. Basically, there was another bike, another 850 that was a low suspension that I had kind of thought about going with. So I'm about 5'8", 5'9". I don't have the longest legs. Some of you shorter guys know the pain. And we kind of tried the low suspension 850 with the regular seat, with the low seat, then the regular suspension with the regular seat, low seat. We just kind of did all the combinations, and I finally said, you know, I really want the suspension mod. I really wanted to just have the full-size bike for clearance and all that stuff. And we switched to the low seat, not the extra low seat, and we went with that. I think I came out of there somewhere around 15.5. Yeah, I had a brand new bike. It was not expected so soon. I think it was like 6 months after the 310. So either way, I'm rambling on. Let's kind of get into some of the things about the bike. Now, the stock parts about the bike, and these are all the reasons why I switched to the 850. This thing comes with heated grips, no kits involved, super easy. You just have one button, you have 3 settings, kind of like most of your heated gear, and they work great. I'm just riding with normal gloves far into the fall. Also, you have your ride modes. You probably have heard a lot about that. Me as a new rider, I love throwing it in rain mode when the roads are a little slick. You can drop that thing in dynamic and this thing rips. Obviously, it's a lot faster. It's 3 times the horsepower as the 310. The suspension mod is great. I can tighten up the rear depending on if I have someone on the back or if I have a lot of luggage back there. It's just a fully different feel of a bike. You know, having it be a twin parallel cylinder bike, it's way less vibration than the 310. A lot less. The 310 vibrated the crap out of my head on that trip. So that is an amazing feel. The seat, I think the regular seat would be even more comfortable, but the low seat is actually really nice. And I'm not quite tippy-toed. I think with my riding boots on, I'm almost heeled down, but not really. It's not a big deal. I've gotten used to that, and it really hasn't been a problem. This bike is kind of just bringing on a whole new chapter. I can do longer rides, longer videos, you know, more intense rides. Let's talk about the display. Holy crap, the display is insane. Obviously with the 310, and I'm sorry for constantly comparing it to the 310. This screen is nuts. It's like a little tablet basically. You have tire pressure monitoring, temps, you can change your modes, you can do your cardo. It's just a really good screen. It's really easy to see. I don't care if the sun's in my eyes or behind me at the screen. You have your little toggle over here. That's really easy to use. I kind of figured that out pretty much on the ride home. I have a little iPad over here trying to remind myself of all the stuff I wanted to talk about. I got the cruise control, which is also digital. I mean, Atlas throttle lock is great for the 310, but being able to set an actual digital number is a whole new world. You know, there's no trying to change it for hills or throttle, whatever. It just set it to 68 and you're at 68 chilling. You can grab a snack or do whatever you gotta do. But yeah, I mean, that's the gist of the stock parts of the bike. Overall, good looking bike. So let's talk about some of the things that I changed on the bike. All right, let's get to the fun part here. All right, so some of the upgrades that I did with the bike, basically I had sitting in the garage before the bike was even home. Something like this headlight guard by Altrider. I knew I wanted protection for the headlight. Most of these newer headlights cost a lot of money and I didn't want to be replacing that. I went and put that on there. Basically the same design as the SRC one I have in the 310. You have your two brackets and you have your 4 polished nipples here that kind of just, you can pop off the headlight cover if you need to do any maintenance on the headlight or clean it or any of that kind of stuff. I had Max BMW order me the GSA windscreen as well as the GSA GPS mount. You can see I did the SW Motec grip guards with the extensions. I think that SW Motec may have purchased some of the hardware from Barkbuster because it seems identical. I could be wrong. They could have just came up with their own thing and it's just, you know, similar. And they really go with the rest of the bike. A lot of hand protection, a lot of stability. I honestly feel like if this bike went down, my clutch lever and my brake lever would most likely be okay, hopefully. Also up front here, you can see I got these Touratech bars. Did the upper and lower on the bars. I did the Denali DR1s. These things are super bright. They're probably, I think, 2100 lumens. They are basic, same design as the ones I have on the 310. They're just a lot bigger. Same wiring harness, same concept with the button, waterproof button and all that. All right, I know what you're saying. You're saying, Larry, where's the loud exhaust? Where's the Akrapovic exhaust? I decided not to go with an exhaust in this bike just to keep it a little bit more comfortable for long rides. I don't really need any extra power. I don't need to make any more noise than I do with the 310. For the rear brake, I went with the Altrider extender. This makes your platform just a bit bigger and also raises it up on the left part of it here. So when you're standing, you can get to your rear brake a bit easier. It will also be really nice to not have ABS when I don't want it. The 310, for whatever reason, they decided to make it so it's on permanently, which kind of sucks. But I also went with the Evo Pegs. These are the same pegs that I have in the 310. I said, let's keep things familiar, and I have no issues with them. They're great. I have them in their lowest settings. I got the rubber off. Those have been good. This is also by SW Motec. This is just a master cylinder guard. And then on the other side, they have the same thing. There's no master cylinder on that side, obviously, but they just kept things uniform. You can see I have the hot wired harness here. That's ready to go. I'm going to be doing some winter riding. I'm going to be doing some long highway stretches. 50 degrees at 80 miles per hour feels like 30. So that's going to be really, really nice to have. I did freeze my butt off on the way home from South Carolina on the 310. I did get some hot wired gear, the pants, the jacket, the gloves, and I'll be doing a review on that after I get a little bit more miles with them. The low seat, obviously, the stock seat, it was doable, so I think I will use the low seat if I'm going to be doing off-road stuff, just because it's just a bit more comfortable to be able to put your feet down when you need to. Let's talk about some of the luggage that I added to this bike. I went with the SW Motec GS Pro bag. This thing's awesome. This has a quick disconnect, super easy to just kind of pull off and put back on. And you know, it looks stock. You hardly see that tank ring. I know there's other ones on the market. I think this one is just absolutely flawless. And it's gonna make me look like a liar now. There we go. I did the tail bag by them as well. This thing is gigantic. Both of these bags expand a bit more than what you're seeing now. They both come off really easy. I can strap this thing to the tail even further back, fit a passenger, fit a dry bag behind me, or I can put this thing up even more to the front and have a little bit of a backrest for when I'm kind of highway stretching. And then you can see here the rack for the side cases. Now I have the case off. I'm going to put it on in a second, but I just wanted to show you kind of how nice this looks, even with it off, the case off and your rack on. I mean, I could pop this off fairly easily, but I don't think I'm gonna. It actually looks kind of nice. Maybe even protect something a little bit. It was super easy to install. I do have a video coming out on the install and kind of first look on these side cases. All right, let's get one of these cases on so you can see what that looks like. So there you go. That's the Trax 80V case. It's gonna come with one large one. That's going to go on the left side and a smaller one because of the exhaust for the right side. Waterproof, super strong. They come in around $1,400, which is totally fair for what they're offering. They offer a ton of accessories. You have like gas canisters, water canisters to mount out here. They have some dry cases that can go up here, some cases for the inside, some like netting for the lid. SW Motec is an awesome line. I'm sporting their shirt, which is a little too small for me right now in the middle of winter. We do have a hat here, brand new, never been worn. They actually sent this to me and some other goodies, so I decided, hey, I already had one. Whoever wants it, just give me a thumbs up in the comments, and I'm gonna pick one of you guys to send this hat out to. That's about it. That's most of the stuff I've done to this bike so far. I know we're still stuck in the garage here. I think today it's like 37 degrees out. Yesterday it was 58 degrees when I started this video, and today it's freezing. So that's just the way things go around here. I think we're getting some snow tomorrow. And I think next week we get some warmer temps. I loved hearing all your comments you guys given me on the previous videos. I think we're at 10K right now on my GS310 video. We're somewhere near 250 subscribers. That's amazing. I really would like to hear a little bit more from you guys. Give me that thumbs up in the comments. We're gonna get that hat out to somebody. Also maybe a little something extra. Tell me what you think about the 850. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. Tell me what you guys think about the mods I've done. Tell me if you think I should put an exhaust on it. I'm not gonna, but I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. All right, cool. Well, that's about it, guys. It's been fun hanging with you. I'll see you soon.